Can dreams really come true? Can we decide our fate, our destiny? Here, everything is possible. It's time to conquer the world. From disaster to paradise. Welcome to Firescar. Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of Firescar. My name is Dave, I'll be your host for this episode, as always. Welcome back, indeed. 1.3 just came out yesterday or the day before that, I don't remember. It just came out like a few days ago. Optifine is not out yet, so my game is pretty laggy. I just allocated some more RAM, but it still seems to be a bit choppy. Today, we will work towards farming for one of the new features. I'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, the updated aquatic is out, and we now have fish. Look at that. Ooh. We have the new swimming animation that I think is really cool. You look really happy when you jump out of the water. You can do wee. You can now sink really fast. And all is fun. It's also really loud. The water is. So this farm, my witch farm, the floors were getting stuck a bunch. Just earlier today. It seems to be okay now. Spawn rates are really good though. I thought that the spawn rates would go down quite a bit with the new update, but apparently they don't. Yeah, it left this block again, this floor up. So I might use a different method of transporting the redstone signal. Maybe make it a bit slower. But we don't worry about that today. We'll worry about something else. I just came over here because I'm pretty much all out of iron. I will need to make a iron farm, and we'll work on that in one of the upcoming episodes. I actually wanted to do that this episode, but now I want to do something else. But I'll show you what I've done so far towards it. Ah, home sweet home. Welcome back to Iron Rivers. Love this place. So, quite some time ago, I started fooling around with villagers over there. Wow, it's choppy. You see that? Yeah, back over there. And they just now kind of stopped reproducing, and I think I figured out why. So in there we have two villagers. One is a farmer, one's a clerk. That guy. Do you call them clerks? One of those guys. A priest. How did I think of clerk? That's funny. And yeah, and then there's a villager down there with a bunch of doors. This is supposed to infinitely breed villagers. They would go down here and then get trapped down in here, where I can evaluate their traits and then kill them if I don't like them. Now, I did that a bunch, and they stopped. I thought maybe I keep them too close together, so I moved this further away. And I got the one farmer that I still had over there that I wanted to keep. Now, I then found out that if you kill a bunch of villagers, the villagers around them will stop breeding because you kind of killed their kind, and they don't like that. Right. So, this place is no good anymore, and the villagers are no good anymore. And I want to build a iron farm, as I said, around spawn. So, we will build another villager breeder over there, and then an iron farm. If you have a cool design for an iron farm and or a villager breeder even, that you want to share with me, feel free to leave suggestions and I can have a look at them. The idea would be for me to build something along the lines of tutorials that I've seen, but kind of come up with my own thing. Not that I'm really good at redstone or anything, which I will prove in this episode, most likely. But that's the way I like to play the game. Coming up with my own stuff. I did go ahead and I took a compass, had a look where the actual spawn of my world is and all that. And so I know where to build all that stuff in the spawn chunks where it will always be loaded. Now, the stuff that I want to walk around today with is ice. So, there's a few new things in the game. There you can see up in the right hand corner, new recipes unlocked and some weird blue kind of block. You can now craft packed ice, which is great because I found like a packed ice biome and I never got to use it, but I actually was looking for a source for packed ice for quite a while, and then I found one now. I don't actually need it anymore because you can now craft this stuff. But there's also a new type of ice, blue ice to be exact, which just like the packed ice that I have in my inventory, can now be crafted and doesn't smelt, but the blue ice, as it seems, allows for near frictionless travel, and you go really speedy and all that. And I think I want to have a place where I can farm ice for that. So, up till now, this is my ice farm. As you can see, it's not that big. And I can show you why that's a problem. So, to do one packed ice, you need 9 regular ice. And for one blue ice, you need 9 packed ice, or compressed ice as it's now called, apparently. Which gives you 1 blue ice, which is a cool kind of block. And you slide a whole lot on this, and you're really fast if you have enough of it. But you need 81 normal ice to make 1 blue ice, which is a problem. So, I will try to build a ice farm today. So, since I want to make the ice farm kind of efficient, I had a look around at a few stats on the Minecraft wiki, and the ones that I needed are not there. So for once, the stuff that I wanted to see is how much faster or how fast you can sprint if you're walking on ice. Couldn't find that. It just says, yeah, you're faster, but not how much. And also, I couldn't find a statistic on how long it takes for ice to average it to freeze. Like how long does it take for water to freeze if it's adjacent to a block in a cold biome? Couldn't find that either. Those are the 2 statistics that I would kind of need to make an efficient ice farm in the way that I want to make it. Couldn't find anything, so we'll just wing it. The design that I have in mind will use a whole bunch of pistons, like a whole bunch. But yeah, as you saw, I do have a bunch of iron, although I thought I don't have a lot. While working on the perimeter over on the witch farm, I made sure to pick up all the iron. So we have a bunch of that. I will go ahead and get a bunch of pistons, and then we'll go over to the area where I want to build it, and then see if I can actually do it. So, this is my spawn chunks. I went around and determined that these 4 blocks are the actual spawn. You can see that it's quite a ways out from 0, it's like almost 300 blocks in each direction. And I've thrown some items into the end portal, and they all came out over here, so this is actually spawn. That's how I've determined it. Around here I will build the villager breeder, maybe. Probably just the villager breeder temporarily, or at least have a way to shut it off. But for sure the iron farm, because I don't have that much iron in this world. But then, when flying around, I saw over there we have a snowy biome. Hello. And you know what snowy biome means? It means ice generation. How? I will look for a nice flat spot, and then we'll build our ice farm. Yeah, when I said I will go to the place where I want to build it, by that I meant I don't actually know where to build it. I just like know the general area. Hehe. Something that looks kind of flat would be nice. And I'll need quite a big stretch of land. I have to turn down the render distance for quite a bit. I think it's down to 10 or something. But it's still kind of choppy. Feel like to have Optifine, to be honest, but it's not out yet. Not for this version. I think I'll take this spot. This should be kind of cool. Snow bunny. Snow bunny. Ay. Alright. Brought a bed and all, so I'm prepared. I am not sure if I have to take the Y level into consideration for this. But I'll just start on this level. With the ice farm, I'll have the water sources on this level. First off, let's set up camp. I'll set this thing down, and my bed and my materials. All's good now. Okay, so the idea will be that we have a long row of pistons, like, I don't know, 100, maybe 200 blocks long, of pistons, like this. Just normal pistons should be enough. Probably have to get rid of the snow for that, it seems like. Let's keep this as our test area. Then we'll build something like this around it. Area like this. Okay. Didn't bring enough building blocks, I just realized, but that's okay. Just here for the test. Okay, put a block up here and encase the other side of the pistons with a block too. Let's build with some spruce logs, I guess. All janky. And then in here we'll have the water. I will need a block on top of here. So the blocks over there are to make sure that not all the water freezes over. We want the water to freeze only on top of the pistons, and then the pistons to move the ice blocks once they're formed up one block. And then we use that, well, and then we farm it there. I just want the ice to move up one block so I can easier farm it. Actually, we probably don't need that, now that I think about it. But the idea is that I can just run along over here with Depth Strider 3. It's actually pretty slow. I didn't think about that. But yeah, that's the idea, that I'll just walk along and I'll break all the things. And then behind us, the water still... the water reforms the source blocks, since you need source blocks to form the ice, and then that's it. But yeah, it seems to work. Now, on top of this, we'll have to power all the pistons with some redstone to make them push up the ice, and then we'll run along like 100 or 200 blocks, collect all the ice, and then we have the same thing on the other side. So we'll double it, probably like 400 places of ice, and then we'll rock along one side, and then we trigger the other side, and mine all that ice, and then we trigger this side again, and walk along, and then that should be all. But that will be quite a lot of pistons, and some building blocks, and redstone, and don't think I have all of these blocks here yet, so let me go ahead and build some stuff. So the design has changed a little bit, but I'll quickly talk you through it. It's actually already working pretty well, I think. But there are also a few problems that I'll talk to you about. But so the first idea that I had with this was to just have the ice be popped up, and then we walk through the water and we whack all the ice and mine it. And I have since gone away from that idea for a few reasons. One of that is that as long as the ice is over here, like up a block, the water below, although it will create a water source, it will not freeze as long as the ice is on top. And also, if we were to harvest now with all of these blocks not being ice, these might freeze over when we whack it, when we mine it, right? So that'll be in a way. And also, there isn't really a need to push these things out if I'm just gonna walk through the water block anyway. So I've decided to have the ice be pushed out over to here on these beautiful stripped birch logs, which I think look really cool. And basically, it now does this. Let me up to here so you can maybe see what's happening. Oops. Huh. Yeah, did you see that? It's timed pretty tight, so probably not. What happens is the pistons down below this, which are sticky pistons, push up this stripped spruce log for 2 ticks. Well, it gets a 2-tick pulse, which means the it goes up and goes down the next tick. It's as fast as it can go without leaving the logs behind. And then right after that, the pistons over here power and push over the ice, which leaves them over here where we can harvest them pretty conveniently. We can also use this for ice storage, so if most stuff freezes over, let's say this stuff freezes over again, and we were to activate it, what happens is that it just pushes out the existing ice one further. And then over here we can just go through and harvest this pretty conveniently with the wood block. We don't have to care about where we aim. And that's all cool. However, here's a problem that I have been having. The redstone signal, obviously we can't just have in a straight line along with these, because we need to put repeaters in. And that would mean that a few of these pistons are not powered, so I did this. Basically shooting the repeaters, the redstone signal into the block where the piston is. So that one gets powered. Now another problem that I'm having is that when we harvest this thing, right, like that, it sometimes so happens that some water freezes over before all the water sources have fully formed. So as soon as the water source formed, it freezes over, which means all of the rest doesn't freeze over, since like the water sources start from that block over there and create over in that direction. Now we can fix that pretty easy. We can just move this thing out, right, and put 2 blocks here. Now this will never freeze over, and it will help the water source over there to create and over there, and that should pretty much solve that problem. So I'll do this every now and then, and well, yeah, that's basically the design. That's pretty cool. I will extend this all the way into that direction, and then build another one over there, and then maybe even a third, depending on how efficient this is by then. But I think I want to build a little bit of it on camera. Now, one thing that I wanted to check out, though, is how far away can the signal actually be for this to still work. Now that we don't need to have the repeater down there, we don't need a signal down there anymore, we can probably stretch this a bit further. So let me revert this to where it was. Piston here. And we'll fill this in with ice so we see where it stops pushing. Right? So we'll do that. Let's see. It went all the way back to here somewhere. I wonder if this one went or not. Let's try that. Yep. I will change this out, by the way, from a button to a pressure plate so I can just run over. Okay, so this is where we still have a signal, and this is where it stops. So let's put a repeater over here. Okay, so this is where we'll repeat the signal. We'll do the same thing down here, right there. We can punch this stuff out, change this over, and we put the repeater over here. And now this should work for the whole thing, right? We can do this, everything gets pushed out, and then we'll run over. And halves everything. Alright, so we don't need this one anymore. And we don't need the sticky piston on there. I will probably recover that. I'm now using a normal piston and a sticky piston per ice block. So it's pretty pricey. Compared to other designs, maybe. But it works pretty well. So I'm not complaining. We need these logs. These nuts. Logs, and then I think that's all we need to continue the build. Probably need a few building blocks. I'll use these for now. I just want to build a bit of this on camera, so we'll do that now. We'll block this off so this doesn't continue. And there you can see what's actually happening. So I mined this out, thinking with the other design, how that was supposed to go. But that's long gone. Alright. So if you want to build this, you will just have sticky pistons down here, like this. On top of that, we'll have a block. If you're choosing, it doesn't really matter which one it is. I'm using the stripped logs because those are new and cool. You get them by doing this, by the way, and they look amazing, amazing. And I have another one over here. Simply because it looks cool. Back here we'll just have a block that holds back the water. Right. Like this. And then over here we'll have the blocks that we'll walk on and that the ice will be captured on. So if you want to build this, this block over here should be something that you don't break as easily with your pick. That's why I'm using logs. Not just because they look cool and they're new and all, but also so I don't break them by accident when I'm harvesting the ice. So then we'll need another block back on here. I'll change this out with another block probably in the future as well. And this will just have the redstone. We'll have a row of pistons on here. And then this will be water. Let's put it in like this, I guess. There and one here. Cool. Let's actually remove this last piston and cover this up so this doesn't freeze over. Okay. Then for down here, I'll quickly extend this, and then I'll show you how I did the redstone actually, like in detail. And then I think the rest will just be me repeating this over and over. So I will have this block next to the piston. Right, we don't need this one, right? Because we blocked it on top. We have a block next to the piston, and on top of the block next to the piston, we'll have all the redstone. If I would have more redstone. I'll quickly run over to over here. Like that. And everything is freezing over already. It's pretty good. We'll just fill this stuff in. Okay. And that's basically it. Now, for the timings, if you want to have this the way I have it. I just have a button which goes into a monostable circuit, so we'll have a sticky piston down here with the block on top, with the redstone signal going into it. This creates a 1 tick long pulse. Now with a 1 tick long pulse, it's as short as it can be. If you give that onto a sticky piston, the sticky piston will extend and retract. However, it will leave the block on top behind. So we put this signal into a repeater, and next to it we have a repeater with a 1 tick delay, which means our signal gets transferred through the repeater back there, and then gets added to it with 1 tick delay. Since the pulse is only 1 tick, it will just like be fully connected, the 2 ticks, if you get my drift. And it will create a 2 tick long pulse, which means this is as fast as it can be. That is to maximize the time, or to minimize the time that these pistons are extended. And then we use a repeater. I have it on 2 ticks delay. I might get away with 1 tick, we'll have to check that. Which then goes to a repeater over here to push out all the pistons up here, and that's basically the whole farm. So it's pretty simple, and I think it's pretty efficient too. Efficient with ice sources wise, not with redstone wise, and not piston wise. It's quite a lot. Oh, come on. Also, there it is. Invisible spider. Didn't see that one coming. Get it? Because it's invisible. Oh well. So all we do now is press this button. We lag out. And then all the ice has been pushed over. All the way to the back even. Alright, and with that I think I have it at an appropriate length. I think this is how long I want to make these. I don't actually know how far the reach is. Like, what radius around the player does the ice actually... Well, does the water actually freeze over. But I think if I stand all the way here, stuff back there still freezes. I don't know. I think it's just that the junk has to be loaded. That should be still loaded. Alright then. There's actually quite a lot of ice that we get from this. Let's actually have a look how far we get from just one harvest here. Was not completely frozen over. As you can... How did that freeze? That might still be left over. As you might be able to see, sometimes a few ice blocks fall into the water. I don't pick those up. I don't think I'm gonna go through that even. Because it's pretty annoying with the ice forming around here. So everything that falls into the water basically is gone. I don't know how much it is that I'm losing, but it's actually, we can do this. We're underwater. You can now swim through one tall spaces like these, so it's actually not too bad to collect it. Man, the idea to build at least one more of this that I could walk back on that side. But yeah, this is the ice farm. All that's left is build this a few more times, basically multiply it. More than 1 stack of ice for 1 harvest, and stuff is already freezing over again. That's pretty good. As you can see, I got quite a lot of ice just while building this. Basically a whole stack of... See, it says compressed ice. I was watching a different another video of the like 1.13 features, and it said something else. Oh, maybe it's because United Kingdom. Here we go for Canada. Let's try Canada. Why is English US after Pirates Beacon United Kingdom English upside down? See what it says now. Packed ice.
Ah, that explains blue eyes. Huh. Yeah, I was a bit confused with other stuff, with names of some other stuff. Apparently, that's one of those. Apparently, in the UK, you don't say you don't say packed ice. There, it's compressed ice. Who would have known? Well, anyway, I guess I'm gonna end the episode here. Next episode of Let's Play Firescar, we will probably have a look at some more 1.13 features, some treasure hunting. I think I want to do that. I want to check that out. Should be a lot of fun. Play around with a bunch of the underwater features. I had a look around. Not too far from here actually is a bit of new terrain, and I had a look around with the kelp and all that stuff. There were some drowned and some dolphins, and it was really cool. And I want to see if we can breed a few turtles. I think I want to do that. Well, anyway, I'm gonna end off here. So after I just finished recording the episode, I actually found a way cooler way to farm all the ice. First, you have the belly flop. And then you just swim along the bottom of this. And you just get all the ice like this. How cool is that? Like, it creates all the water sources instantly, and you pick everything up, and it's way cool. Man. But it doesn't store all the ice, so the farm is still cool. But yeah, I like this. It's cool how you still insta-break all of this stuff if you swim along like this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you check back with me next time. Next episode, video, stream, whatever it will be. And until then, see ya.